father was into dogs, and he had a rare terrier breed in the mid to late '80s called the Glenville Mall Terrier. There were only probably 30 or 40 in the States at the time. Working dog from Ireland, the Glenville Malls Islands off of the coast, I mean, off the coast of Ireland. Anyways, he got about four or five of those dogs. From a young age, I went to AKC shows and like rare breed shows with him. Um, then go go ahead.
No.
Okay, all right. Well, anyways, our local veterinarian name was Dr. Proctor,
Okay.
and we would take our dogs obviously to him. And I went in the back one time to where the kennels were, uh, and Dr. Proctor bred American Staffordshire Terriers. The first time I ever saw an Amstaff was probably somewhere between 8 and 10 years old, or a pit bull. Tomato, tomato, same thing, different paperwork. And that could upset people, but it is what it is. And he had a line of American Staffordshire Terriers called the Sertoma line, uh, kind of started by a guy or cultivated by a guy here locally named Theo Rayburn. I later came to find out my father actually, before I was born, had a dog from Theo Rayburn off of a dog that won best of breed for American Staffordshire Terrier at Westminster called Ruffian Red Rock of Harwin. Now my father's dog wasn't show quality because in the AKC, the American Staffordshire Terrier can be no more than 80% white. Pit bulls is different. They don't care as long as it's not Merle, right? But in AKC, you can't have a black and tan, which are Rottweiler patterns.
Mhm.
Um, and then you can't have a dog that's red nose or liver champagne, and you can't have a dog that's more than 80% white if you want to show it. So my dad got it as a pet quality dog. Well, anyways, the dog those dogs stuck with me. I'm sure like the first time you gentlemen saw a dog and you're like, damn, that happened for me at 8 or 10 years old. Then I saw some pit bulls being walked in my neighborhood, a couple years later, give or take. And I've just always been enthralled with that breed. I don't know what it is. It's just something that I was like, I've got to have something like that. I've got to have that. And that's kind of where my personal journey with bull and terrier breeds began. And I haven't looked back, and so I've dabbled with Amstaffs, Staffordshire Bull Terriers, UKC and ADBA American Pit Bull Terriers, which for people who don't know that much about the distinction of the two, a UKC American Pit Bull Terrier is more like an AKC American Staffordshire Terrier. Most lines are they're bred for show. They're not bred for performance like the ADBA stuff.
Okay.
Um, so I've kind of just always kind of had my foot in the door of all those breeds at some point since I've got them. And first dog I ever got was personally in the bull and terrier breeds was I bought a $100 Awana pit bulls when I was a kid, like most of us probably did. Get a $75 Rottweiler or $45 German Shepherd or
Mhm.
$50 pit bull. That was me too. And my parents didn't want me to have one. And after that, after about the third dog, my father was like, "Look, I don't want you to have a pit bull or an Amstaff. They're too big."
Right.
That was his excuse. And for whatever reason, I respect it. He's like, "But if you're gonna go get a dog, go get a damn good dog. Don't just go get some bullshit off the side of the road." And he said, "I'll make a deal with you." He said, two breeds you can get. You can get a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, or you can get these old English bulldogs that have started to come up. Have in mind, this is late 90s, early 2000s. And I was like, man, Staffordshire Bull Terrier is an established breed. It's been around for what, Rain? 125 years at the time, give or take. I mean,
Yeah.
the oldie had only been around for, David Levitt, so what, the 70s at that time, maybe 25 years shooting from the
Mm.
hip on something like that. And I was like, you know what, I want to go with the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. We're talking about the original bull and terrier pit dog of the British Isles that was brought here and then cultivated into the American Pit Bull Terrier, which kind of later became the American Staffordshire Terrier. And so that's what I kind of started with right there.